Okay, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you my collection, at least the collection that I could find. I'm sure there's some hidden somewhere around the house or in cars, but of my awesome, and I know you're going to be jealous, my Harbor Freight flashlights. Now, before we start and everything, and I know I'm going to get a lot of emails and comments about how jealous they are. You're just going to have to deal with that. Sorry. And also, I'm going to probably get comments of like, man, this guy must be running out of things to review if he's reviewing this crap. You know what? Maybe that's true. Whatever. But I'm not going to give up. And if I even have to, if I have to review my underwear, I'll do that to have content. Okay? So before I run out of battery power and before this thunderstorm takes me out, I'm under a lot of tree limbs right now. I just want to show you my super awesome Harbor Freight free flashlight collection that I've accumulated over the years. I have no idea how many years it's been that when I go in there and have a coupon, and of course you got to get your free flashlight. So these are all free, and I'm sure I have a couple more somewhere, but this will be okay. So what we have here is probably at least a 7 to 9 year collection. And before you, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, that's a lot. You must be very jealous. So what these are they take 3 AAA batteries, and they have 9 LEDs. They're all the same in terms of the LEDs, at least to my knowledge. They might be different types of brands that they've bought and inserted, but they all seem to have about the same, if not the exact same output. They all use this somewhat clear plastic lens, if you want to even call that, and this very, very lightweight, cheap, thin aluminum housing. Definitely not aircraft grade at all. Just very, very cheesy type of aluminum, but nonetheless, it works. Now, what's interesting is what you see here is on the left, going toward the right, they get smaller. Now, what I figured out was the older ones were smaller than the new ones. Let's just take for just an extreme example, because there's actually 3 different sizes that I have. Now this is lined up and you can check it out. That's the difference. So for some reason they're getting larger over the years. And what's even more interesting is that there's actually this middle size, and I'll try to show it here. It's not that much of a difference, but it's just like a hair bit of difference. And what it is, it's this one right here, but I'll put this in between. As you can see, I have expert camera skills. Okay, here we go. We got these 4 to the right are one size, the older small ones. And what we have here is the 3 on the left are the larger, newer ones in the last few years. And then this one right here in the middle is bigger than the smaller ones, as you can tell. But if you line up these, and it's real hard because of my awesome contrast here, you just readjust. Okay, here we go. So those are lined up just perfect, and you can see that this one's just a little bit less tall. Now what's interesting also is you can look at the knurling or the checkering, or however you want to call it, patterns, and they get a bit bigger, but they're bigger because the flashlights are bigger. So let's just take the extreme. This one obviously is the newer, bigger one, and you can see the size of the checkering. Not so much down here per se. It's just it is different though, but it looks like that the checkering is a little bit less wide on the new one on the front toward the head, but at the rear there's more of a grip. Now they all come with little lanyards, these cheesy little, I guess they're nylon maybe, it could be poly, I think they're nylon, and they have these little split rings that are completely crappy, like this one's almost like rusting out, if that even picks that up. Some of them don't even have them because I've actually broken them. They get snagged on things. The next thing I want to show you is the checkering on the actual tail cap. Now these two are similar because they were made in a similar time frame. And let's see here. These have a little bit of a deviation. This one on the right has a little bit of a wider pattern than the left. See, it's a little bit more, there's more of those pebbles on the left. And then as you keep on going, you do see similar differences. These are pretty similar, but the one on the right looks like it's even a higher concentration, possibly smaller grip patterns. And as we go to the oldest ones, we have here's the last three, which are the oldest of these flashlights. And you can see that some of them also are just a darker aluminum or whatever that paint is, and then some of them also on the tail caps. These have pretty much similar traction pads, but what I have noticed is that some of them are raised a little bit more than the others in terms of the height of the clicky on the back. Just one example would be like right here, for example. You have some of the newer ones, and even within the newer ones, you see how much more that clicky in the back there stands up than the other. So you got all these differences, and that leads me to think that they're either changing whoever's the lowest bid on these, and they change the manufacturer, or they change the manufacturing process to keep making it cheaper and cheaper and more cost effective. I don't know, but I do know that there's probably different people most likely making these just because of the inconsistencies, not only of the design, but also of the actual stamping of the name Harbor Freight. Now, let me just roll all this in here. And here's the first four. And hopefully this picks it up. And as you can see, the lettering, it says harborfreight.com. Now, where it gets kind of interesting is some of them are clearer than others. And then some of them actually have bolder letters than others. And let me see if I can just get a better example here. Here's a good example right here. The one on the bottom is a lot clearer, and they have a larger type setting. And the one on the top is more bolded, that says Harbor Freight. And that's kind of what I've noticed, is there's probably like at least 3 or 4 different typesets, pretty much. Maybe more like 3. There's about 3 different typesets out of just these 8 that I have here. So I don't know what the deal is on that. But anyways, they're free, and I know you're jealous, and it's awesome. So go out to Harbor Freight if you have them in your area. Get yourself a free flashlight. They typically last a few months before the batteries go out. You can throw some new batteries in there, and they last another few months. And like I said, I've had some of these for probably going on 7 to 8 years, maybe even more. Some of them might be older. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of memorable, dealings with Harbor Freight. I don't just wake up in the middle of the night going, man, that was so fun going to Harbor Freight. But at the same time, they are what they are, and they're useful for around the house and in the car. So with that being said, thanks for checking out this review. If you like these kind of reviews, let me know. Harbor Freight is a good company overall. They sell a lot of cheap junk, though, let's be honest, but maybe about 5 to 10% of what they sell is very good and useful. For preppers out there, make sure to check out Harbor Freight. I'd probably avoid a lot of their security products. They're all crap, especially their padlocks. I wouldn't even look at them. But in terms of maybe some of the basic solar panel systems, just to get started, it might be something just to look at, just to get familiar with systems and their files, hammers, axes, and other things, especially their tarps, are definitely worthwhile just taking a look at. Thanks again for all your comments, and for all those who just subscribed, and hopefully we'll talk real soon. Thanks for watching.